Hello and welcome to the next episode of our mini-series on discrete choice experiments. And today I'm going to share with you an interesting trick that I discovered coincidentally, and by the way, a bit too late, but anyway. What you see now on the screen is one of the selection that my users or our users in the experiment had to make. And it was a study about the social costs of digitization. It is an add-on to the study with Professor Ostran that we submitted to the AMSIS conference and received the Track Best Paper Award. We continue working on the experiments and we try to collect data in different other domains in order to see how people perceive the social costs of digitization. And I think in some of the videos I also refer to the example, and I think data processing is made on the example from this data collection. But I noticed that it is kind of very painful if you try to sell answers, because what you have here, if we go to the document, the attributes and levels, they look like this. We have the 4 attributes: organizational costs, HR related costs or personnel costs, relational costs, it means the cost that might appear if you have to cooperate with third parties like your partners. And we used efficiency gain as our scalable variable that helped us to calculate willingness to pay, or in our event, willingness to trade efficiency against something. And actually, although the paper received the Track Best Paper Award, and although we keep working on the paper, I have recently noticed that the biggest issue is when you try to sell the results, when you publish your results and try to explain what you have actually found. Because the discrete choice experiment is a comparative method. If I use this item, for example, this level as my baseline or the reference value, then I can say whether the others were significant if compared to the baseline. So for example, if I find something significant for this item, excessive usage of company resources, it means that it is significantly different to temporal deceleration of business processes. It means that if a user sees a solution that offers either temporal deceleration of business processes or excessive usage of company resources, then with the degree of significance that we have attained, the person will tend to, let's say, excessive usage of company resources. And it's kind of pain in the leg if you try to sell it to somebody and explain it as so comparative. And even if you calculate the value, the willingness to trade excessive usage of company resources against efficiency, it is the comparative value. It means if I again see these 2 items, then I would need to have at least so and so much of efficiency gain in order to prefer this option over that option. And the solution is pretty obvious, but I haven't thought about it before. But if you are developing a discrete choice experiment, think about the following: that the best way would be to add an additional cost, the one that is baseline. What would be the best baseline for the organizational costs? Actually, very simple: no costs. And with regard to HR related costs, the same, no costs. And with regard to relational costs, the same, no costs. And if you have this item, you can use it as your reference value and then make it pretty clean. And as compared to having no cost, any of these costs can be significant or not significant. So it's so obvious, and it is so painful to understand that I could have done it earlier if I could have thought about it. But anyway, it was not what I thought about when we developed the experiment, and that is now probably can be a life-saving opportunity for you to include this no-cost opportunity. It is not always possible. Remember the example that I gave you with the cars, and we had the cars with the attribute color, and the color was yellow or red or black. You cannot have no color. You could say we can introduce, for example, the color is unknown, but unknown would imply that the user will imagine that she or he will imagine any color, let's say black or white. And in this moment, it cannot be a no-cost opportunity because it will always be there. You cannot have a car without any color. It will be either white or gray or black or yellow. So this solution holds only if your attribute may assume an absence of the attribute, like 0 costs or something like this. In the event of efficiency gain, you don't need it because it's scalable, and we definitely know that 11 is more than 10 and 12 is more than 11, more than 12. Then you don't need it, you can easily compare. But in this event, we don't know what is more, what is less. We will find it out. It means it will be an explorative finding, and it would be great to also to know what is the baseline. That is why my simple solution to you is introduce the baseline in order to avoid problems that we have now with the paper that we are trying to publish and trying to argue in the results and discussion section about what we have actually found and how to interpret it. So the findings are correct, but the interpretation is very complex if you don't have a good baseline. I hope this is helpful. I hope that you will succeed with your discrete choice experiments. Enjoy and let me know if I can help you any further with any other questions. Good luck.